Real people, real topics, real conversation. It's gonna be okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to It's Gonna Be Okay, my podcast on recovery, addiction, mental health, just life with some beautiful testimonies along the way. Now, my next guest is a very special guest going interstate for this one, currently in Mildura over in Melbourne, originally from Tasmania. He's had his fair share of battles with addiction, trauma, homelessness, but used that as power instead of letting it weigh him down, and now does outreach in Tasmania when he's down there. At the moment, he's working over there in Mildura, just doing incredible things with recovery. He's just recently hit 3 months completely clean. Welcome to the show, Ash, from Breaking the Cycle down in Tassie.
How you going, bro? How you going, guys?
Yeah, good. Hey, we start the show with a bit of a rewind each time, so take us back, like what it was like growing up. Did you grow up in Tasmania or did you grow up elsewhere?
Yeah, bro. I grew up in Tassie. Did move a lot from Launceston from Hobart a lot, back and forwards.
Hmm.
But grew up mostly in Roachley, so little bloody mostly housing commission, to be honest, bro,
Hmm. Housing
in
commission.
Launceston. But yeah, no, it was really good, bro. Like, to be honest, look, we all had our alcohol addictions. To be honest, when I was younger, my parents, drank a lot, but you know, always had food and clothes on my back, bro. I can't really complain. Like, things got worse later on in life, to be honest.
Yeah, that's where we're off to next. So you've had your fair
Yeah.
share of battles. When would you say that was introduced to you? Like, the
To be
drug.
honest, bro,
Yeah.
yeah, I started off with pot when I was about 14, I reckon, about 14.
Mm.
And then drinking 15, but time I was 16, bro, I was a full blown alcoholic. I was drinking 4 liters of goon every day. Um, Yeah, man, it got hectic. Even in college, bro. Like, never really attended classes, man. I was too busy running around, and that's kind of hit college. I was starting to drink a lot. Hang around with the wrong crowd. Started hanging around with a bit more family members who were involved in criminal activities. So
Mm.
yeah, I was full blown alcoholic at 16, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hectic,
And you were in Risdon at one point, weren't you? For people listening, Risdon is probably the
Yeah.
biggest prison in Tasmania.
Yeah, it's our only prison actually. Well, our only
Yeah.
main one. We have our remand centers, but yeah, I've been there 5 times, bro. 5 different sentences. They weren't big sentences, but yeah, I've been there 5 times, sadly.
Mm. And what led you there?
Um, Look, to be straight up, FVOs with my ex, messaging, trying to see my kid. A lot of shit criminal behavior on the streets, like, motor vehicle stealing. I went in for house invasion. I went in for burglaries, a lot of shit, man, and I suppose that's when you're hanging around with the wrong people, and
That's just the
when
street.
drugs do get involved, it's shit that happens, bro, and
That's
I
what you
lived
get
in,
caught up in, eh?
yeah, exactly, and living in like housing commission, bro, and being around that kind of area, you are more in flight. It is, it is true. You do see a bit more, and they're the kind of people I look up to, like, oh, I want to be like them, want to be like my older cousin, and yeah,
Mm.
it was just that mindset I had when I was younger, bro.
Yeah. And you recently, I love watching your journey, man. I tune into all the videos
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
You've
legend.
recently just hit 3 months. What would you say the biggest challenges of being in recovery have been for you? For me, it
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
a friendship circle. I was very, very lonely in the early stage, and I still am pretty lonely. I do get to meetings and stuff here and there, but I enjoy my
yeah.
own company. But well, now, but for you, what would you say the biggest challenges are?
Um, Finding out who I kind of am without drugs and crime, bro. It's been 20 years battle, I'm nearly 34, so like I said, when I was 15, 16, started, So, and look, it's probably lucky I do have social media, to be honest. I think I would have collapsed by now, to be honest. I have a lot of social networking with people in the recovery scene, so I'm very lucky with that. But
Mm.
yeah, it's just finding out kind of who I am, bro. Because I still have them times where I do think about it, and that's just part of addiction, and I think people paint addiction as this pretty little amazing life, bro, and it's just like basically what happens is, we use drugs and alcohol for a reason. It's all the underlying issues, and when you do give up all that stuff, you're left with all the underlying issues, all the crap, and you got to pick yourself up and figure all that out.
Mm.
But yeah, there is good things that come out of it, of course, recovery. It's awesome, bro. Like the opportunities I'm getting. I could never do this, drunk, off my head, high, whatever. Never.
100%. You know,
Yeah.
and if you do try it, it's a sloppy game, man.
Oh, it is,
I
bro.
was trying to do this while I was still smoking and stuff, and it's just
Yeah,
sloppy, man.
it is, bro. Like you last, a week or two, and it's just the motivation, bro, and you know,
Yeah. And
and
what
that
would you
it
say?
starts with motivation, and it kind of gets that motivation drops off, and it's kind of dedication, bro. In the end, you
Hmm,
just yeah.
and what would you say, like, or like it could be, we speak of higher power and 12 steps and whatnot, but what would you say your biggest inspiration, or who would be your biggest inspiration to, say, no, I'm not going back, this is me now, I'm not going back to who I was.
Look, I know it sounds crazy, man, but it used to be my daughter, bro. But I haven't seen her for nearly 4 years, bro, and it's like
Hmm.
it's kind of me now. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this for me, and my biggest inspiration, bro, would have to be, Danny Shannon, bro. Like that bloke's a legend in the recovery scene, man, and he's there for me nearly every day, man, doing his voice recordings and checking up on me and whatnot, and giving me advice. Even when I feel like sometimes I feel like, bro, like I need to go to rehab. I feel like I'm gonna relapse, or you know what I mean. Just getting them negative thought patterns.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
just,
yeah.
yeah, he'll
They
just,
happen a lot in the early stages, and
it does, bro. And that's the thing. Like I'm actually nearly 4 months clean and sober, nearly 4 months. But anyway, I'm still in very early recovery, and that's the thing. I went to NA the other night, and I sat there with people, 2, 3 years, 10 years, and I'm like, shit, I'm very early in recovery.
yeah, yeah. I use
Yeah.
that as fuel, man. I see people saying their days, and it's more
Oh,
days than me. I'm gonna be there one day, man. Like it's a
yeah,
beautiful feeling. Just yeah,
100%.
those rooms definitely a big inspiration, man. But yeah, so apart
Yeah, no,
from
definitely.
apart from like I know you do the videos and stuff a lot and whatnot, but what are some things that you do to just keep your mind busy apart from doing the breaking the cycle and the outreach and stuff when you really,
Definitely, bro.
when there's like just
Bro.
that one day where you're like, fuck, I could really do with, something right now.
Yeah,
What is it that you
100%
do
gym, bro.
instead?
Gym. If I didn't have gym, well, to be honest, I haven't been able to go to the gym for the last 3 weeks. I'm going back tomorrow because I had a bit of a heart issue. But yeah, gym, bro. Gym's massive in my recovery, and it is with other lot of blokes too. I find,
Hmm.
it's a big part of it. It sets that day off. It gives you that dopamine hit in the morning to feel good, and like let's go smash out the day.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
the one.
the gym, bro. To be honest.
That's the one. And I've forgotten one. There's one I usually ask, but
Yeah.
completely forgot it. Just brought it back. Say if because I know I'm pretty sure there's a song about your brother and stuff, and he's still struggling and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's still a lot of people struggling. If it was a completely clean world, it'd be pretty weird, in my opinion. But for someone that, is either struggling or has a family member or anything like that, stuck or caught in addiction and the crime life, like, what would you say to them to comfort them?
Oh, look, there is a better life. Like I know some people, and a lot of people say, oh, fuck the system, you know, and they just go, oh, nothing works. These services don't work, you know. It's about that mindset, you know. You've got to think, you know, what do you really want in life? You know, do you want to be that person, 50, 40-year-olds, you know, being with nowhere in life? You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I think now. And I'm like, I don't want to, it sounds pretty hard, bro, but people who drink every day sitting in parks doing nothing with their lives, bro. And I was younger and I was like, I never want to be like that. And I kind of ended up being that person.
Mm.
And I sat there and I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Just yeah, get a gym, go to the gym, you know, get a social network around yourself, good people, and you can do it. You know, there's a better life than just jail, bro, and drinking every day in parks and just stuffing up all the time, man. Look, I know it's hard with people who come from families that, you know, that's all they know and that's what they think that's cool and that's what they think, no, I have to fit in and whatnot. But it's not. You know, I had that mindset for many a years, but
Mm.
there is a better life, bro.
Yeah, yeah. And is that
You
like,
know?
what would you say was the breaking point as well? The point where you just, no, I've fucking had enough of this shit. Like, what
Yeah,
was
no,
it where you were just like, fuck
probably
this,
my
I'm done?
probably my third overdose, bro. So I try to commit my, well, try to kill myself in a house fire. You know, when I witnessed my mum stab my dad 5 times, I've witnessed it twice. You know, this time
Sure.
around we got kicked out. I was homeless, you know, on the streets. And about 9 months after I decided, like, I think I was in such a traumatic state, bro, that, you know, I thought to myself, I can go burn this house down with myself in it and all the memories we go, bro. Like, my mind was that crazy,
Uh,
you know, and I was
yeah.
drinking hand sanitizer, you know, I was a wreck, bro, and I thought, no, all these memories will just go if I burn this fucking house down. And yeah, it was it was hectic. But probably after that, you know, they lucky my dad got me out on insurity. Got me out bail after a few weeks of being in jail, and you know, 3 days after that, bro, I tried to commit suicide. You know, what was it, like 40 Sericals and 50 Catapris.
Holy shit.
And yeah, man, it was like 90 odd pills, bro. And I'm like, I was lucky to survive, bro. You know, all I remember was about 10 to 15 nurses and doctors rushing behind me, rushing around me, you know, getting rushed into hospital. And I woke up, you know, a good 14, 15 hours later, and I'm just sitting there. I remember it, bro. I was sitting, just laying in there, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing with myself? Like, I've got to do something now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to do fucking 5 years in jail. Like, what am I doing? You know? And that was the turning point, man. Like, it really was.
Mm.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And you're working with Danny at the moment. Like, how you got the thing on, well, this isn't live, so it's tomorrow, which doesn't really
Yeah.
matter, Friday. How did meeting Danny Shannon come about? Because I know he's a
How?
busy man, sometimes a bit slow with the
Yeah,
replies and
yeah,
stuff. Because I've reached out
yeah,
myself, I really want to interview him. You know, he's a very
yeah, no,
inspiring dude. Eh?
yeah, no. Danny's a legend, bro. Facebook, to be honest, actually, no. It was this seminar, and I actually had TikTok Gary, and Danny there, and I didn't end up going, but I ended up reaching out, started liking Danny's stuff, and yeah, we just connected, bro. And I did his 12-week program called Recover and Beyond,
Mm.
and oh, dude, I got a few things out of that. That was pretty damn good, you know. One big thing I take on from that course, bro, is feeling comfortable in uncomfortable positions. So basically putting yourself into, you know, uncomfortable situations you don't normally do,
Mm.
you know, and
I
that's
love
kind of
that.
what I've done. I've taken on in the last 3 to 4 months, bro, and it's helped me a lot. I've gained a lot of opportunities from it, you
Mm.
know, and Danny's helped a lot.
Yeah, yeah, sick, sick. And
Yeah.
so your family as well. We'll go because I love talking about music. As you know, I have a music podcast with my best friend as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
what are the ties with Mick? How do you know Dundee,
Dundee.
like one of the greatest
Yeah,
artists in
bro.
Australia? How do you?
Yeah. My brother and him used to be, they were tight, bro. They were basically best mates. They had a little crew together 15 years, maybe nearly 20 years back, 15 years ago. 2008, bro. I remember it. 2008, 2007. And yeah, bloody, I've just been, mates with Mick since. Just started talking to him a lot more, bro, since my recovery too, and it's really good. And
Yeah,
he's
that's
helped
good.
me a lot. And yeah, apparently I've helped him, you know, get off the ciggies and weed too. He goes, "You give me the inspiration, bro," and I'm like, "Nah, that's pretty
Yeah,
crazy
that's
hearing it
killer.
from you." But
That's
he's just
killer.
like
How did
he's
you?
just like me and you, bro. He's a fucking top fella.
Yeah, how did you do the ciggies? That's the hardest thing I've been finding is the
Well,
ciggies after everything else.
I actually didn't smoke ciggies, bro. So I just mixed the tobacco in the pot, bro.
Oh yeah,
So
you just spin there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was more the tobacco way, but I am back on a vape now. I will admit.
Yeah, yeah.
I was talking to Danny about it, and the last 3 weeks have been pretty hard for me. With no gym. Like gym's a massive. It was a massive part of my recovery, man. That's what was keeping me sober and clean. Well, not just the gym, but I said to him, I said, bro, I think I'm going to relapse on weed, not the hardest shit anymore, but weed. And I said, look, I feel like just having a vape or a ciggy or something. He goes, look, don't stress. You're in early recovery. Don't stress about that. We'll worry about that later on down the track.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that nicotine, it's a bit of a tough
Yeah, it
one.
is a killer, bro. It is a killer.
Yeah,
But it's
100%.
better going back to smoking pot than, getting lazy or drinking and doing other shit because that's where normally my habits go now. If I get on the piss, bro, like other drugs have been involved too.
Yeah, one is
Yeah,
what is it? One is too many and something like that.
yeah, one is too many. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of that
the
in
the quote from NA, you know. Yeah, I was trying to
yeah,
remember it pretty
yeah.
tight. Um, yeah. So, have you got anything you want to share about breaking the cycle? What's happening there? Is that on pause while you're in Mildura, or
Yeah,
how
well,
did
I've
that
kind
come
of,
about? What was the inspiration behind breaking the cycle? Because that's incredible what you do, bro.
I don't know, bro. Look, to be honest, I think most of us who, are in the recovery scene, man, we all looked at the person who kind of created it first, and that was TikTok Gary, Gaz Wright, you know. So I looked at him, and then I found Glenn Fisher, of course, heard
Yeah,
of,
yeah, of course.
and Glenn, bro, fuck, what he does in Sydney, and it was crazy. And I'm like, well, I want to give back to the homeless, bro, because I've been homeless myself after I got kicked out of the housing house, and after witnessing my mum stab my dad, bro. I was full blown homeless. And I just felt like I needed to give back, and I felt, well, that's my way. So yeah, but
Yeah. What's been some
I just want to
highlights
help,
of
and I
doing
want to
that?
help the youth too, bro. Like I want to help the youth too, not just the homeless.
Mm.
So I hope some of them are watching this or watching my videos, bro, and be like, well, if he can do it, there's a better life. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what it's all about, man.
hundred
That's
percent.
definitely definitely what it's all about. Speaking on youth, what would you tell your like younger self, 13-year-old self, for example?
Shit. Probably love yourself, bro. No, it sounds a bit gay and whatever, but yeah, no,
No, no, that's
just probably,
perfect.
just probably love yourself, bro, and just, don't be so down on yourself. You know, I had a lot of confidence issues when I was younger, and a lot of bullying when I was in high school and whatever, and then I kind of turned into that nasty person. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you do after being bullied long enough. I find I was bullied
you do,
myself, and
man.
that turned me into a version of myself I didn't really like. I was the bully,
Exactly, bro.
because of years of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's not good, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. What would you say, like some of the highlights of starting breaking the cycle and everything like that has been? Has it been like the networking and stuff? Because you meet some of the best people. Some of the best people I've met, you probably agree with me here, bro, are homeless. Like I've met some incredible homeless people, man.
Oh, 100%, bro. Like, you know, and I've met this when I was living in the shelters and then in tents and around town too, man. But you can meet some normal everyday, well, who's normal these days? You know, no one's normal. They just hide it better. But, but you just meet some everyday people, you know, and especially in the crisis we're in Australia at the moment with housing, you know, some of these people have just lost their job. They can't afford their rent, so they're living outside their car, and then they pick up bloody drug addictions, and it just spirals like that. I've seen it so much now, man. Like since going back to the street in Lonnie, I met this one bloke, you know, of course I won't say his name, but he was the most harmless fella. He used to stay in the shelter in Lonnie and, you know, had a job and shit, you know, a couple of days a week. And now he's in the park smoking crack. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'd never thought that, you know. So it's just being around that. It can be, and I understand, man. Like a lot of people just go when you're homeless, you just go, oh, why don't they just get a job, you know? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty hard. It's pretty hard when you're homeless, man. You've had, you know, 5 hours of broken sleep all night. You know, the first, and you wake up and everything's just soaked from the moisture, especially in Tassie, man. It's
yeah.
shocking,
And
you
no,
know. So
nowhere
the
to
first thing
shower
you
and
got, yeah, bro, and you got to figure out your shower, your food, and then you know, after that, man, you kind of just want to numb your shit, you know, and have a beer and whatever, and that turns into drugs a lot of the times. And you pick up addictions.
mm,
It's shit.
yeah, 100%. So the whole, well, not the whole family, but your family is pretty steady on recovery. Your mum's just gotten out of rehab, eh?
Yeah, mum is. Look, she's struggling at the moment. She's going, you know, she's going well, bro, but she's got a lot of dark demons, bro. Like she was bounced around in foster care homes. A lot of stuff happened to her, bro. You know, and she's trying to get better now, you know. She's struggling a bit being clean and finding out who she really is. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but she's going good, man. Like it's not easy healing, bro, from getting off drugs and alcohol. And like I said before, like all that underlying issues come rise, man. And that's where a lot of people, I think, relapse, and they either get bored, or, you know, or they just them underlying issues, bro. It's just, yeah, it's hard. So we're just trying to, you know, heal from our past and move on with life. You know, it's not easy, bro, but it's better than, you know, being drugged out or drunk all the time. You know.
yeah, 100%, 100%. With the Zoom, I think I've only got about 5 minutes left, so we'll cut it like very
Okay.
short. But before we do, what's your message to the world? That's how we'll end it. And where do we find you to keep updated on the socials?
Yeah, nah, bro. Look, everybody just needs to be kind, bro. Be kind to each other. Um, we just need to show more love in this world, bro. More love and more kind. And you know, the one thing I've realized, you know, I've been a bit addicted from saving money, and it's like, don't worry about money so much. You know, I know it's hard to say that, but you got a car, you got a car. You don't need the best car out there. You know,
Mm,
don't keep chasing things. Just be happy with what you got, I suppose, because some people don't have a lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
the one. That's powerful stuff. I appreciate you jumping on again, man. Where do we find you to keep
Yeah,
updated?
nah, bro. So TikTok under Breaking the Cycle Tassie, and then on Facebook it's Ashley Smith Breaking the Cycle Tassie. I use a bit of Instagram too, but trying to get the following up from there, bro.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Guys, go
Yeah,
and follow him. He's doing incredible stuff. Hope you're enjoying your work period over in Mildura, and we'll chat
yeah,
soon.
bro. It's good.
Legend,
Thank you so
legend,
much,
bro.
guys.
Legend. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Real people, real topics, real conversation. It's gonna be okay.